Excellency, President Cyril Ramaphosa, our African ministers present, to the Acting Minister of KwaZulu-Natal Province, the Mayor and the Deputy Mayor of eThekwini, President Ramaphosa, on behalf of the tourism industries from 20 African countries doing business here this year, and buyers from more than 80 countries around the world, and a huge media contingency who are communicating the good and often untold stories about this incredible continent of ours. Welcome to the biggest ever annual Africa travel Indaba, and the best, I might say. We knew it was the best even before you arrived, but with your surprise arrival, it now really is the best ever. It has been, Mr. President, it has been incredibly busy. Sellers selling, buyers buying, and media interviewing and reporting. We are a united industry, and an industry that unites, connects, builds bridges, and overcomes barriers. We are an industry that is very resilient in the face of economic turbulence. We are an industry that is performing exceptionally well, contributing more than 9% to GDP and employing more than 1.5 million people across the value chain. Tourism, Mr. President, grew by more than 7% in the continent as a whole in 2018. But we are also an industry that has not yet reached its full potential. You know, Mr. President, that our country has spectacular landscapes, abundant wildlife, vibrant performing and visual arts, music and heritage, food and wine, adventure and experience. You know that our country and our continent have unique stories to tell. Beautiful stories. Stories of overcoming adversity, stories of hope, stories of inclusivity rather than division. In South Africa, dear friends, we have chosen to mold a future for ourselves where no one is excluded, whether it be because of race, gender, religion, or sexual orientation, or disability. We have chosen to unite the people of our country in all our magnificent diversity. Rather than separating people, we have chosen the journey of inclusion. Although we still have a long way to go, our progress towards an inclusive future has actually been quite dramatic. Mr. President, I met with a number of hosted buyers, hosted media from more than 18 countries just yesterday alone. And last night I took the liberty of talking to a number of the sellers and buyers and asking them, what would be a fitting welcome for our beloved President? Mr. President, the message is quite simple, that the industry is delighted about your unexpected visit this morning, across the board, absolutely delighted, and honored that you have taken time to be here with them today. The industry is overwhelmed by your recognition of the economic and social importance of tourism. But, Mr. President, and here's the but, there is an overwhelming message that I heard yesterday from Nigeria to Ghana, from Kenya to Uganda, from India to China, to New Zealand and many other countries, and it is this. The sector has massive potential, but to unlock its potential, the visa dispensation must be overhauled. I'm so glad you're hearing it not from me, but you're hearing it from 1,000 people out there. I took the liberty, Mr. President, as I normally do, as you know me, of assuring them that under your leadership, as you assume a new 5-year term of office as President of South Africa, I didn't tell you to cheer at this point. That was unrehearsed. That was totally unrehearsed. But as you assume your new 5-year term, we will move, Mr. President, in your own words, rapidly to a world-class visa system. Your Excellency, President Ramaphosa, welcome again. the status symbols.
Thank you very much. Let us be seated. After that welcome from a rebel-rousing minister, I do indeed feel welcome. Minister Derek Hanekom, Minister of Tourism in our country, Deputy Minister of Tourism, Ms. Elizabeth Tabete, honorable ministers from other countries, specifically from Uganda, Professor Ephraim Kamuntu. Thank you so much. Wonderful to have you here. Why do you have names like our names in South Africa? Kamuntu is so South African. Are you sure you are not South African? Thank you very much for being here, Professor. Yeah, thank you so much. It's a real honor. The Minister of Tourism from Lesotho, Ndate Joang Mulapo, I welcome you. Thank you so much. Minister from Eswatini, Ubabe Moses Vilakati. Members of the Executive Committee of our province here, represented by Acting Premier, Mr. Sihle Zigalala, who spoke earlier, the Mayor, Executive Mayor of our metro city here, Ms. Zandile Kumete, the Deputy Mayor, Ms. Pierre, and the High Commissioners who are here with us as well. And I also want to extend my greetings to the Chairperson of the Board of SA Tourism, Ms. Pemiako, and other board members, and all of you as exhibitors, as buyers, and as members of the media. I'm really delighted to be here, and to all of you ladies and gentlemen. Let me start off by saying I'm sorry that I'm not dressed appropriately for this occasion. I was somehow told, and I'm given orders all the time, that dress like that, dress like that. One day I fear that they will tell me to go out naked. So, coming to a tourism in Indaba, I thought I should wear a Madiba shirt, the type of shirt that Nelson Mandela used to wear. And they said, no, that won't be appropriate, wear a suit. And I said, on a Saturday, they say, wear a suit and look presidential. So here I am. So it's a real joy and a pleasure for me to be here amongst you. And let me say on behalf of the government of South Africa, and indeed the people of our country, I thank you for coming to our beautiful country, South Africa, and particularly to our most beautiful city of Durban. As the global citizens that we all are, we are physically, in many ways, separated by a number of things, by boundaries and by borders, and these separate us from each other. But we are, however, united in our affinity and our love for this great continent, Africa, the cradle of our humanity and the cradle of humankind. It is Africa's status as the mother continent, as the home to some of the oldest hominids, fossils, and some of the world's most unique biodiversity that makes this wonderful continent a prime tourist destination. And I'm glad that there are so many from 80 countries who are here who recognize precisely what Africa has to offer. We all know that we have majestic mountains and smiling hills. Some of those hills were seen by Nelson Mandela, and he described them so vividly in his book, when he said he has traveled a long journey and he has gone up a hill and is now resting a little bit and looking at the vista. But he said also in his wonderful book, Long Journey to Freedom, that as I sit on this hill, I look out at the beautiful vista, but I also know that I still have long, long journey to walk and many more hills to climb. So this is the continent of those smiling hills. It has pristine, beautiful beaches, white beaches, and abundant fauna and flora, some of which are found here. And we are proud to say as Africans, and nowhere else on earth. We have world-class national parks that are at the forefront of the conservation of rare and endangered species. And the beautiful thing is that many of our parks on the African continent are being improved on a continuous basis as those parks are being packaged and properly managed for tourists to arrive.